Yep,
Yep.
that's it.
Alright.
All right, so I'm on.
Appreciate it. You're on.
Good deal. So I guess good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jennifer Allison, Houston Land Bank. My title at Houston Land Bank is VP of Operations and Programs. I do a little bit of everything, but I focus mainly on one particular program that we have, which we consider the New Home Development Program. This program is created, I consider it a child. So you have the City of Houston, and underneath the City of Houston, they have different departments. One of the departments in the City of Houston is the Housing and Community Development, which is HCDD, which is really housing. Housing then has different departments under housing, one of which is the New Home Development Program. So what New Home Development Program does is they come over to Houston Land Bank and they say, hey, you guys, you have land that we helped you purchase. The city helped us to purchase the land. The land came from, just going back a little bit, we started as Land Assemblage Redevelopment Authority, which is LARA, L-A-R-A. This is back in 99. In 99, the city was going through some things whereby there were quite a bit of vacant and abandoned land. And as we all know, being citizens of Houston, we have lots of vacant and abandoned land. You've got a lot of illegal dumping. And you have a lot of squatters, and you have a lot of things that are going on that are totally illegal. So the city basically says, in my own words, not in Houston Land Bank's words, but the city says, hey, we need a vessel in order to be able to keep the city cleaner. And we were having a lot of foreclosures. People weren't paying their taxes, and our roads and everything else that we do, picking up your trash, is all about you and I giving a little bit and pitching in for the whole. So LARA is created. We go and we purchase land that has been vacant and abandoned. And for the most part, we pay the taxes on the land. We pay taxes on the land in many instances when the amount of the land is less than what the taxes are owed. I.e., I have a piece of land. This land is, I'm behind, the land is only worth $5,000, but we haven't paid the taxes for whatever reason. You didn't know you owned it. It was airship. It was left to you, and you just had no idea that grandma left it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that happens quite a bit. So the land's sitting there for 10 years. You guys didn't pay the taxes. This land, again, is only worth 10, but guess what? The taxes on it are like 15. So most people are like, I'm not paying $15,000 for land that's only worth 10.
Right.
That's where we come in. So we would pay the amount due. The land comes into our inventory.
Okay.
Fast forward, we had a program initially, which we considered the Houston Land Bank Traditional Builder Program. We'll talk a little bit about that later on.
Okay.
But this New Home Development Program came about not too long ago. And what occurred then was when the city says, hey, we realized that everybody noticed that Houston's here, and they're coming, and they're coming in droves. And there's certain people that cannot afford to live within the city anymore. And it's getting worse. So we were created along with the City of Houston. So now I'm going to go back to the City of Houston. So there's the city, there's the housing department, and then under the housing department, there's New Home Development Program. So there's the city, there's the housing department, and then under the housing department, they created New Home Development Program. But New Home Development Program doesn't exist without Houston Land Bank because we own the land.
Gotcha.
Got it? So that's how it all comes together. So I think of New Home Development Program as being the baby, and housing department as being the dad, and Houston Land Bank as being the mom. We created New Home Development Program.
So Houston Land Bank and City of Houston are two separate entities.
Yes,
Right.
right.
So it's a joint program.
But there's funds that come from the city housing department that allow for the funding for the building and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. So now we have like a platform or a baseline for understanding of how we got where we are. Okay.
And if you're online and you have any questions, just either do the raise your hand part or just unmute yourself.
Okay, so we have New Home Development Program, we have Houston Land Bank, we come together, they build on our land, but they oversee, it's their own builder, not the city, but the city procures a builder, and that builder bills and is paid through the city, through the housing department. Okay, so once the city bills, once the builder bills the property, the house, they put the improvement on the property, then there was a tri-party agreement. The tri-party agreement was between Houston Land Bank as the owner of the land, the builder building the house, and the city, or the housing department / city, is the tri-party agreement. Okay. Once that's occurred, the house comes back to me. And then we put it on the market. We have listing brokers. We have 4 listing brokers currently. And then I come out and say, hey, you guys, please go sell my houses. Okay. So any questions so far before I move on down the road? No? No? Okay. All right. Okay. So what I've done today is to just give a snapshot of our program, how it works, and how everybody just wins on it. The first page, I think that Mr. Davis is showing, is the new home development program. It could be 80 pages. I broke it down to 2, okay? Because I'm just giving you the meat and potatoes. As a broker / agent, the most important thing that I think that you guys need to know is about the AMI, or the 80% area median income, that any single person interested in new home development has to qualify for. If that's just like number 1. And if they don't fall 80% or below, then they are not qualified. There is no need to waste your time or theirs.
And the way that there's a site that people can go to.
I have it on here.
Okay.
Okay. So it looks like this one.
Oh, show that one. Okay.
Yeah. It's the AMI, right? So this is the HUD AMI limits for households. If you'll see on the chart, the household size is over to your left. The 80% AMI is to the first column to the right, and then the 120. We'll talk about the 120 in a bit. When they talk about household size, they are not only talking about the one person that brings home a check. They're talking about any beating, living human heart in that household. So if there is, if I'm the only breadwinner in the household, but I have a baby, that's 2. I have my grandmother lives with me, that's 3. And I've got my boyfriend that lives with me, but he doesn't have a job, that's 4. Okay. So then you would go down the chart to 4, and you cannot make any more than $63,350. Period. To qualify for this program at 80% AMI. Now, some folks, they say, well, I do a little side hustle here and a side hustle there. You want to share your side hustle, okay? Because when it comes down to the city digging back into your records and your checking accounts and stuff like that, they're going to ask you, well, where did that extra $200 come from that you deposited in your bank? Now, if you never deposited in your bank, we don't know what happened. But if it goes through your bank, you have to let us know where it came from. If you pay child support, if you receive child support, that's all considered income. Okay. Any questions so far?
Everybody good?
Good deal. All right. So let's go back to the first page that we pulled up. And this page, this one.
Okay.
This one just talks about the 80% AMI. It also talks about the applicants should register for home buyer certification classes. So the second step in purchasing a house through Houston Land Bank and our partnership with the city is for you guys to get your buyers home buyer certified. There are classes out there. You can look online and find them. Some of the classes are free, but I think for the most part, the classes may be.
Well, we offer through the Houston Black Real Estate Association once a month.
There it is.
Yeah.
So just have them certified already, okay? Then the third process is to get the pre-approval. My suggestion, if they have met these 80% AMI, put that to the side and then simultaneously have them doing the home buyer certification and get pre-approved going on the same time. In other words, don't go to get the home buyer certification, then wait a week,
Income.
and then start the pre-approval process. Do them both at the same time. Okay, so then once they have their pre-approval, we go to number 3, which is really important. So once you get the pre-approval and the home buyer certification and their 80% AMI, you are going to email our office. It's at dalbro@houstonlandbank.org as the agent/broker. Send it to Denisha. CC your client on here. All you're going to do is say, hey, Denisha, this is Jane Doe. I have my client, Sally Mae. She is interested in the new home development program. You have to tell her that, and she needs a HAP number. Okay. In that, Denisha is going to respond back. She typically responds back within 24 hours, but I give her 72 just in case, something's happening in her life. She's going to then say, great, thanks. This is what I need from you. The client's name, phone number, email address, home, household size, annual salary, all income coming in, and the industry she works in. The industry has nothing to do with the city. The industry is only for my own records. I have been asked in the past, what type of clientele are you working with? And I could not tell them. And so I'm never going to be caught like that again. So I just have, she has a little spreadsheet she keeps, like, do these people work in, are they teachers? Are they this? Are they that? And we just keep kind of a tally. So she's going to ask for that. Then she's going to turn around and send an email to the city. The reason why we prefer to do it for you is we have a direct liaison with the city. We found that when an agent goes out and they try to do it themselves, they are either going to get in the wrong queue or they're going to get in a queue. Okay. So if you have Denisha do it, she'll send it straight there and we can just move the train along a little faster than we would. Also, number 4 on that list, once the HAP number is generated, the HAP number, she's going to send it back to you. Well, she's going to send it back to your client and she's going to CC you on it. The HAP number is the only way that the city is ever going to be able to find this person again. They can have on your email also, I forgot, Denisha always tells me to say this. Be sure to find out from your client if they have a HAP number from the past, like if they've done this, because the HAP number they have in the past is connected to something totally different. And what it'll do is once they give Jane Doe this new HAP number, sooner or later, it's going to get confusing of, well, we have 2 social security numbers too. Yeah. And so then we're going to have to start over. So just, put it out there, let them know that this is what it is. Okay. So while you're sending that to Denisha, the name, phone number, everything, Denisha is going to say, but this is what I want you to do. Also start getting everything that's highlighted in yellow ready because they're going to ask for it. Send every single page, front and back, of whatever it is. Even if it says intentionally left blank, send it anyway. Okay. So just in case you can't see it on your computer or your phone or whatever, it's a copy of your driver's license, social security, or passport. That homebuyer education certificate that we talked about must be present. The most recent 3 months pay stubs, award letter for any benefits you have, recent tax returns, final divorce decree with the stamp, lender pre-approval, child support payment, birth certificate for any children, and if there are any other adults in your household that make any money, you must put that too. More than likely, they are going to require and ask you for more, but that gets us started because we know that that's going to happen. All right, so once we have that from you all, everything else you can leave to us. That part of it you can leave to us. Then we get to go shopping for a house. So if you'll pull this one up.
Absolutely.
Right now in the new home development program, I have 7 houses that are for sale. They are all in Acres Homes. They are either on Sealy Street, Cora, and I have one on Tower. They range from 1,282 square feet to 1,583 square feet. They are all 3-bedroom. They are all 2-bath. Unfortunately, they do not have garages in this program. Okay. They range from $190,000 to $201,000. The difference, if you'll notice, there is a house, maybe we'll just take the one on 7919 Cora. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1282 square feet, it's for 201. But then right across from it, 7825 Sealy, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1282 square feet for 196. So when we were doing the comps, the floor plans are exactly the same. Exactly the same house. The difference is the one on Sealy, the primary bedroom is much smaller. And when we were doing this, I felt there'd be a need to make a difference in the two houses, because you have, unfortunately, the primary bedroom on Sealy is very small. And the one on Cora is a really nice sized bedroom. All they did was they took away some of the closet space in one and added more closet space in the other. So we couldn't catch it in time. I went out there as they were putting up the sheetrock, and I said, oh my God, we got to stop. But it was too late. And when you work with the city, it takes quite a while for things to get done. So they had already done a couple of these houses before. The houses are nice. You would not, I mean, they're really nice. You can go online, you can look at them. They are on par. You just go shopping. I mean, literally, you just go shopping.
Sweet.
Yep. Okay, so I have 4 other ones coming that will be on, oh, they're on here already. On the one on Tower, it says coming soon. 7708 Sealy is coming soon. And I have 2 more that are coming soon.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So because there's a limit on income, it's income based. Have you found issues of people getting financing?
No, we're gonna get to the fun part.
All right.
Okay. All right. So once you find, you found this house and you like it, and remember, your client has already been pre-approved for, say they've been pre-approved for $150,000. And they're looking at a house that's 190. So the difference is 40 grand. I've got the 40. It's just that simple. We fill the gap.
Okay.
So the gap can be filled from anything to no dollars, which please use my money, okay, to up to $50,000. And that up to $50,000 is without any other approval. That money is sitting there, okay? Anything over $50,000, that involves a little more documentation, and we have to go to the director of housing to get permission to give. I don't care to give more than 50. And the reason why I don't care to give more than 50 is, I mean, 51 is one thing, but if I have to give a person $100,000 in order to buy a house, my fear is I'm getting them in the house, but they're not going to be able to afford to stay there. And they might not be able to afford to stay there because this street, Sealy, when we start building on Sealy, there were approximately 4 houses on the entire street. There's probably 4 lots vacant now. And so you have all new construction, and the tax man is coming. And so I gave you 100 to get in it. I've changed the trajectory of the street and this neighborhood. And again, my fear is, can you afford to stay there when your taxes go up?
We could always well, I'm not saying you should change your mind on how you approach it, but you got to look at it. Once the value of the area goes up and the equity in that house goes up, they could always refinance and pull the cash back out if they run into issues.
So this program, that $50,000 that's given, is connected to you don't ever have to pay it back.
But it's a lien. Once you sell the house,
right.
You pay it, right?
Right. No, you never pay this $50,000 back.
So it's not paid off at all.
No, this is we just have a second deed on the house.
They got to stay in a certain amount of time.
Yes. So the time on this feasibility period, affordability period, ranges anywhere from 5 to 10 years, depending on how much funds you get out of the program.
Yeah, I mean, you give somebody 100 grand and they put it in a house, they're not gonna have a problem keeping the house because you just have too much equity infused into it.
I've seen this already.
Really?
Yeah. So and then at times, you also have to think about the real estate education of your buyer, and that is from you.
But they have to go to that class though.
Some folks don't think it through like that. And they just live there. And then, you know, I get the call where my taxes, because I've been here 2 years, my taxes are where they're not. I don't know what I'm going to do. Some people are getting the tax bill and they're not calling. So, you know, you
I got you.
yeah. It's
But they-
like
but
me
they
going
have
to
to
the
go through this-
mechanic.
They have to go
My
through the
car.
certification.
Right, right. Yes, they do. So,
Do y'all have a, I'm sorry. I don't mean to
go ahead.
cut you off.
No,
Is there a program where there's an after purchase class or something?
no, there's not.
Maybe.
Not for us.
Yeah, okay.
Not for us.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
As far as the lender pre-approval, so before any of this takes place, you have to have already like pretty much started the process
Right.
of purchasing
Right.
a home?
Right.
Okay. So there are like credit score limitations.
The credit score limitations, anything has to do with the lender. If your client gets pre-approved here, it doesn't bother me either way. Right. That's on the lender. That doesn't come into my shop.
Okay. And then with the timeframe that's requested or required to be in the home,
Mhm.
so that means you can't sell, rent, or anything
You cannot rent
at all.
at all,
Oh, period.
at all.
So even after 10 years, I still can't rent that.
Oh, you can do that
After
then.
the affordability.
period.
During the feasibility period.
All
No,
right.
that has to be your homestead.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just being nosy.
Yeah.
So why does the city need, why y'all need all this? If y'all are not dealing with any of the financing?
We have to make sure that our $50,000 is going to the right to qualified buyer.
I got you.
If not, you could go buy it. Uh-huh.
Hey, look, I still make them go buy it.
I know, right? Me too. So remember, the most important part before you go any further is to make sure that that client is income, they have the income limits through HUD, that 80%. That's like, I've had so many people, they go through the home buyer certification class, they get the lender pre-approval, and then it's, oh yeah, and it was a waste of time because the person made $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
So do your homework. The last thing is the contract offer checklist. So once you guys have found the house, they've been pre-approved, they have their income limits through HUD at 80% AMI or below, and they've gone through the class. You've dealt with Denisha, everything's good with that. Then the last part is sending your offer in. So you'd send your offer in, of course, to the listing broker. They would then send it, your contract needs to follow this to the T. There is no negotiation of price. There's nothing as a negotiation. Everything is in stone. The only thing that's going to change is the lot, the block, the address, and the person's name. That's it. Everything else is just about the same. And so you'll do the new home contract. You will attach the certification. You'll attach your pre-approval. You attach your letter and your third-party financing, and so on and so forth when you submit your contract. And you can close anywhere. It typically takes us about 45 days to close.
This is from execution date or from after approval, loan approval
After you send it to me,
contract?
after contract, takes about 45 days. We try to say 30, but I know that that's not a good number. So many people are in apartments and I say 30 and they're assuming and they get out of their lease and then they don't have anywhere to go. So I would just prefer to say 45 days. And that does it for the new home development program. Anybody online have any questions? Please ask me.
Anybody got any questions online?
Is this the same program as the land rental?
No, it is not. I'm going to talk about that, but I can't talk about that much because it's not my program.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which program?
Sure.
So the area, where did you say it was?
This is in Acres Homes. Acres Homes is off down 45 going north. And folks familiar with Houston, you know where Gallery
Clearly,
Furniture
Lansing,
is on the
yeah.
right-hand side when you're going to Dallas. It is on the left-hand side, about one exit further down. I think that's West Montgomery.
Okay. And is that the only area?
This is
right
the
now?
only area that we are building new home development program in right now. Our next stop should be, when we finish these houses, that'll be it for the Acres Homes area for now. And then the next stop will be in Sunnyside and in Settegast. And we'll build approximately 10 houses in Sunnyside that are already prepped. Well, they're not prepped, that we know we already have the land for. And then 10 houses in Settegast. So it'll be 10 and 10, total 20 houses.
So you building 10 in Acres Home?
No, 10 in Sunnyside.
No, I
and
mean,
10
but
in
how many are you building now in Acres Home?
I'm almost finished there. I have 40, I built 43 houses, 41 houses, 42 houses, somewhere in there so far.
Mhm.
And then these additional 10, 14. So it'll be 50, 55 houses total that I've built out there for this program.
Yeah.
Okay. Our goal was much higher, but we didn't meet that goal. With COVID and stuff, it just threw us back by probably about 50 houses. We're
Really?
supposed to have built, yeah. So, any more?
Is that the stuff in opportunity zone or no?
No.
Something different. Okay.
G. Davis.
All right, so when we move on from there, we did talk about, when I was talking about the new home development program, I touched on the 120% AMI.
Oh,
The 120% AMI is another program that comes or funnels through or flows through the Houston Land Bank office. That 100%, 120% AMI is known as our Houston Land Bank's traditional builder program. With this program, and I don't talk about this program much because I'm not that well versed in it, and I only talk about what I know for sure. Okay. So the 120% AMI, same thing goes whereby you look at the chart, however many human beating hearts in that household is what you consider your household size. The only difference in this program, large difference in this program versus the new home development program, outside of the 120% AMI, is one, these houses are not built by the city. It is still our land, Houston Land Bank's land, but we sell the land to a overly vetted builder, okay? We vet our own builders for this program. These builders then buy our land at below market value, hence allowing them to sell it for less. They build the parcel, on the land, the improvement on the land, and then they go out and put it up for sale, which I think you've done one of ours before. They put it up for sale. When it comes back to us is when you have an agent who reaches out because they realize it's a Houston Land Bank house, or they've been trying to get in touch with the builder and they can't, or so on and so forth. And they say, hey, we're trying to buy this house, blah, 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 blah. And then Denisha will get in the weeds with you on that one in contacting the builder. And also there's up to $30,000 in down payment assistance with this program.
That's 120% AMI.
That's at 120% AMI. Correct.
Is there like a selected neighborhood like you did?
These
with
houses
the-
are being built in Acres Homes, in Settegast, in Trinity Gardens, in Sunnyside. And that's all. Those four currently being built. So I want to say, and don't hold me to it, we may have built like 90 houses last year in this program, in this other program I'm referring to. And the houses for that range from, right now the cap is 212. So I can't tell you the least, but I can tell you as I speak today, right now, or yesterday, the cap was 212. The cap will more than likely increase because of materials, and the builders just can't seem to build a house, sell the house, and make a profit at 212. So it will probably go up. But again, $30,000 is the cap on down payment assistance, and that money comes from somewhere else. It comes from the city, but it doesn't come out of the same bucket as my money comes out of. Any questions on that one? And you can always go on our website about those houses. Denisha's really good when a builder has a house that's not pre-sold. Then they'll reach out to us and say, hey, will you put this on on your website so we can get a little
So
more.
the website, and that's what my next question is gonna be, that's the thing that ever changes as far as the available properties.
Right, HoustonLandBank.org. And then I believe once you go to HoustonLandBank.org, you would go to home buyers. And then under home buyers, it should say like houses for sale or something, but
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to find.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. like
Those
this
houses
flyer
will have garages and they tend to be brick.
From the other guys. Cause these right here don't have garage.
No, that's new home development program.
So are these houses and those other houses, is there anywhere they're on there together? Are they in two separate places?
They're in there together.
Okay, under all of for sale.
Right, exactly. Yep, they'll be there. Okay, then there's the one that you asked me about.
Oh, community land, yeah,
That's
cause I
the
can't
land
seem to I can't get Darren Blackmore in here, so.
So, I don't speak very much about the land trust because that is not my baby,
Mhm.
but I'll give you a quick overview that'll be probably 10 sentences long, okay? The land trust is not the land bank. I'm the land bank, we own the land. We bank land, okay? The land trust is a vehicle whereby a buyer, your buyer, has the ability to go in, choose a house, whichever house they want, basically in the city of Houston at this point. They used to partner with us solely, but they are not only partnering with us anymore. They have reached out and they have funds now whereby they can buy any house in the city. Okay, and I think it's called Home Buyer Choice Program. I think that's it. Yeah, Home Buyer Choice Program. So you just say that I decide to go to Mr. Davis and tell him that I want 1234 Main Street.
Mhm.
I have pre-approval up to $100,000. And 1234 Main Street is $205,000. No, 200,000. Let's keep it at 200. You go to the land trust. Oh, I'm the land trust, right? Yeah, I'm the land trust. I forgot who I am right now because we need 3 people. So 1234 Main Street is here. This is 1234 Main Street. And I want to buy 1234 Main Street. I've been pre-approved for 100.
I wanna buy it.
You want to buy it?
I wanna
thought
buy it,
you're
cause you're the
agent.
land trust.
Oh, man. Okay.
So me and my agent gonna buy it.
Okay, so he's the agent.
Mhm,
You've been pre-approved for 100.
mhm,
You come to me
mhm,
and this house is 200.
mhm.
You are purchasing the improvement or the house only. I, the trust, am purchasing the land. So how they'll figure out how much of this, how much the improvement will cost is based on the value of the land, basically. And they do a deduction. That's not how it's done, but that's basically how it ends up. So as we all know, sitting around this table, if you talk about an improvement versus land, the most coveted piece in this deal is the land, because I can't make any more than that.
Mhm,
I can't make more land, but I can build a house over and over that keeps burning,
mhm.
right? So then you guys will end up owning this, and this is what you pay your mortgage on.
Mhm,
I own this as the trust, and I take care of that.
mhm.
I don't want to go into any other detail but that one.
Well, maybe you can help me get Darren Blackmore here. 'Cause
So-
I mean, we actually had a real estate summit on Saturday that was designed completely around a community land trust, and he still flaked on it. So maybe you can help me with that.
So, no, I'm not, but I'll give him a call.
All right.
I'll give him. We email each other often, so I'll definitely give him.
Okay, because when I say, like, for me to put somebody on blast like that, it's like over 5 times I've been trying to get this cat to come through my office.
Okay.
And it don't make sense.
I I think that's all. The land trust, I think it's a great model for certain people.
Mhm.
I have, out of the 40-something houses that I've sold out of new home development, I want to say over a great number have been through the land trust model.
Mhm.
And so, in my opinion, this is Jennifer only talking, the model works excellent for older Houstonians that are at 80% or below area median
And
income.
it's fixed.
Their incomes are fixed, but the price of living continues to go up.
Mhm.
And they are, 15, 20 years ago, they were paying $600 a month, and that was to live in a decent place. Not only has the landlord gone up, but he's not fixing anything anymore,
Right.
and they are living in deplorable conditions.
Yeah.
So when I have one of my many favorite residents to call me, and she says, hey, I'm having Christmas dinner, come by. I was never able to do this before because she was on such, she was always worried about what next year was going to bring.
Mhm.
And it just warms your heart. It really, really warms your heart. So she puts her stuff out. She's got chairs on her porch, and she's just living it up. She's living it up, and she loves it. She loves it. So for those people, and then people with a great sense of, what is it called? Self-awareness and where they want to go in life and what they want to do. And they are able to save and not just assume this is the at all be all, we're never going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I've seen that before. We have a teacher who's a buyer through the CLT, and she has saved. She was paying so much in rent that she decided she was going to just start putting that amount aside, and her house note's like $650 a month.
Mm.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
She has a nice house
Yeah.
and 3 kids. So she's just putting that money aside, and her plan is to launch very soon and buying a house in a traditional sense. For those people, I love it. I love it. But for people that are just gonna say, well, that's all I'm gonna stop. Just stop right there.
Well, thank you, Jennifer, so much.
You
for
are
coming and
welcome.
Giving us that information. We'll probably look for other opportunities throughout the year to maybe get you involved and
Okay.
continue to expose the program.
Sure.
We're recording this right here, so it'll go on our YouTube channel.
Okay,
So that information will still be able to be distributed throughout the company.
okay, all right. I'm always open to helping out. I'm passionate about our mission,
Mhm.
really and truly. Really and truly. I will start crying every time I talk about it because it is getting to the point in this city, which I love my city, where the have-nots are really becoming the true have-nots.
Mhm.
And if we don't do anything about it with affordable housing,
They
it's
have
not
nowhere to
just
live.
gonna catch up with them, but then it's gonna start eating into everyone else.
Mhm.
And we need everybody to live in the city to make it continue to be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody online have any questions?
This right here on page 2,
Yes.
the lender community, are these?
Oh, yeah, thank you. So once your contract has been executed and, we've signed off on it, Houston Land Bank signed, everybody's happy. The next step is that lender needs to reach out to the folks in the city and CC me.
Gotcha.
That's how it keeps rolling. Because we've had situations where, it's been executed, now what? We're just sitting there. So, and that address typically changes, those email addresses changes. That's why I ask you to send it to me. So I'll make sure if somebody else is not doing that anymore in the city, we'll figure out where it goes next.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, listen, yeah, you mentioned the classes. How many classes is it, do you know?
How many, what do you mean?
That's like one of the requirements to have a home buyer education certificate.
Uh-huh.
How many classes?
I think it's the hour, isn't it? You guys
hour
give it
class?
here.
What's that?
The home buyer certification.
So it's the Houston Black Real Estate Association,
Correct.
HBREA. We do it, we've been doing it once a month, but lately we've been doing like a couple of times. It's the ABC's class.
Yeah, so you just have to do that Thursday and Saturday class?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah,
Right,
Oh.
that's the certification.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. They just want you to do it. I mean, it's not like you're getting 3 credits. Or anything.
I was thinking like it was like, I don't know, like an education.
No.
course.
I mean, it is education, but it's not drawn out. And they do it online too.
Yeah.
Catch a class.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Shay, there's an email came in from Mary Jane Green, P21211, saying that the application
You're offline.
is not approved. If you all don't have any questions, then we're gonna go ahead and shut it down.
Yes.
Thank y'all
please.
for getting on.
It's so quiet.
I know. Why they don't wanna talk?